Welcome to the 2023 Clallam County Sharing Success presentation. My name is Caitlin Freidman, and I'm a new member of the Clallam County Master Gardeners. I'd like to introduce you to the wonderful Woodcock Demonstration Garden in Sequim, Washington. Woodcock Demonstration Garden is unique in Washington State because it is owned and maintained by the Clallam County Master Gardener Foundation. Located at 2711 Woodcock Road in Sequim, Washington, the garden demonstrates a broad range of ornamental and edible plants, native gardening, composting, and garden design. The garden presents a variety of gardening themes, including a rose garden, cottage garden, shade garden, ornamental shrub garden, and an ornamental grasses garden. There are beautiful and interesting display areas for succulents, container gardening, and dahlias, to name a few. I'd like to begin the history of Woodcock Demonstration Garden by acknowledging that the land of Clallam County was originally inhabited by the Clallam people, as well as the Cayuse, Umatilla, and Walla Walla. In the mid-1980s, the Master Gardeners of Clallam County wanted to have a garden where they could demonstrate gardening practices suitable for the Olympic Peninsula and test different types of plants and gardening techniques. After considerable research, discussions, and visits to many Master Gardener demonstration gardens in the Puget Sound area, they concluded that it was preferable to have their own garden rather than one in a county or city park. In 1987, the group agreed to lease 2.47 acres of property on Woodcock Road in Sequim. The Master Gardener Foundation of Clallam County, known at the time as the Master Gardener Foundation of the Olympic Peninsula, was created to sign a lease agreement for the property. The transaction record stated that for $1 per year, the Master Gardeners could use the property for agricultural purposes. Over the next few years, the land was cleared, the heavy clay soil was improved, and fruit trees and vegetables were planted. In 1990, the local family informed the foundation of their desire to sell the property. After many fundraising efforts, an anonymous donor offered the necessary funds for the foundation to purchase the property. Legal ownership of the property was completed in the spring of 1992 when the title was transferred to the foundation. In the mid to late 90s, two buildings were constructed. The open-air pavilion, which could be used for picnics, work parties, and cover during garden seminars, and a metal building, which was separated to provide storage for tools and equipment in one section and plant clinic and educational sessions in the other larger section. The focus of the garden also changed during the mid-90s. Finding enough volunteers to maintain the vegetable gardens was becoming increasingly difficult, so much of it was turned into a series of landscape gardens. These small individual landscape gardens became showcases for the types of plants that would grow in the Sequim Dungeness area. In 2006, a new fence was installed, and the main entrance and parking area for the garden was moved. This change allowed the garden to remain open to the public 7 days a week during daylight hours. Our program priorities are issues that the WSU Extension Master Gardener Program volunteers are trained for and are poised to address. They guide what we do and why we do it by helping to connect the dots from the skills being learned in the classroom to the natural resources we are trained to protect. Woodcock Demonstration Garden fits readily into almost all program priorities, but I would like to focus on three specifically: pollinators, local food, and nearby nature. Pollination is an essential ecological survival function. Almost 80% of food-producing plants require pollination by animals like bees. 1 in every 4 bites of food we eat requires a pollinator. Declines in insect pollinators worldwide presents a challenge for food security. But it's not just food that we need pollinators for. Pollination is also required for reproduction of flowering plants that help prevent erosion, filter water, sequester carbon, and add oxygen to the atmosphere. While there are many factors that have played into the decline of native pollinators, a significant issue is simply loss of habitat. Woodcock Demonstration Garden has a native pollinator garden focused on habitat. Active mason bee houses in the orchard, and a wildflower meadow is currently being created. The local food program priority promotes sustainable techniques for growing local food to improve individual and community health and wellness. Local food production reduces the economic and environmental impact of growing, processing, packaging, and transporting food. People who have direct access to local food through farmers markets, community gardens, or by growing their own eat more fresh fruits and vegetables than people who do not. When the garden was first getting started, we produced a range of vegetables and fruits and delivered hundreds of pounds of produce to both the Sequim and Port Angeles food banks. We continue this tradition by donating about 250 pounds of produce each year. To this day, we still donate to the food banks in our area. We also donate vegetable plant starts to the local school and food access programs after our annual plant sale. Master gardeners also volunteer with the local Boys and Girls Club and help the children create and maintain a garden at the club location during the summer, with plant starts from Woodcock. The children also help care for an apple tree at Woodcock, where they participate in a cider pressing each fall. Woodcock demonstrates a range of gardening and growing techniques in our different gardens throughout the property. There are culinary and medicinal herb gardens, small fruits, an orchard with a variety of apple and pear trees, and an extensive organic vegetable display area that includes examples of vegetables that grow well throughout the year and demonstrates growing techniques and tools that will help you get the most out of your home vegetable garden. Nature in cities and towns, including parks, gardens, trees, small landscapes, and natural areas, provides measurable benefits. Research indicates exposure to nature has a positive impact on human physical and mental health, as well as quality of life. Woodcock Demonstration Garden is open to the public during daylight hours year-round. The garden has a classroom and an outdoor pavilion where plant clinics, free lectures, and workshops are held from May through October. Fall is descending on us, and with that, it's harvest time. The apples are ready for cider making, and the pears are plump and perfect for jams and liquors. Come stroll through the fruit tree orchard and see the more than 20 varieties of apples, 4 pears, 2 peaches, and 3 cherry tree varieties. Our master gardeners will guide you through and teach you about the differences in types of apples. Be sure to check out the apple tree cared for by the local Boys and Girls Club. In other areas of the gardens, vegetables are being harvested for the local food banks, and the small fruits area is alive in reds, purples, and blackberries bursting with sweet flavors. The perennial flower gardens are a riot of color throughout. Make sure to pick up a self-guided tour brochure to help you navigate the gardens by yourself or alongside the presenters. You're free to stroll around the gardens and speak with the master gardeners who are working to keep this place beautiful for the community's enjoyment. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of Woodcock Demonstration Garden. Should you have any questions, please reach out to me via email at freidmanc55@gmail.com. I hope you'll come to Sequim and visit this garden that makes us so proud.